back again, UFC 315, as Jack Della takes on, don't forget the name, Belal Muhammad. And you have bouncing up Shevchenko taking on Manon. And then you have a banger at the bantamweight division, Jose Aldo taking on Zahabi. Who do I have winning these fights? Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got final predictions for UFC 315. Belal Muhammad making his first title defense against a very young, talented Jack Della. So guys, let's start with the banger at 135. The King of Rio, Jose Aldo, making his return. It's kind of crazy. When you look at Jose Aldo, he's been fighting for a very, very long time. He was the reigning king at WEC at 145, and then also the reigning king at 145 in the UFC. And he said when he fought at 145, he truly never cut weight. Now he's cutting at 135 and he's making a run at the title. Even though he's retired, he's back again fighting. It's kind of crazy to see how long he's been in the game. And then his opponent, Zahabi, he's no spring chicken either. He is on a 5-fight win streak. Also, at the age of 37, he's trying to look to make his name off of beating one of the legends of the sport in Jose Aldo. Now, let's look at the keys of victory for both these gentlemen. When you look at Jose Aldo, he's been doing this for a very, very long time. And one of the things that got him to the world stage is that beautiful leg kick. I never forget at WC 48 when he fought Uriah Faber, he kicked that man so damn hard that that man could not walk the next day. He needed crutches. Jose Aldo needs to get back to that vicious leg kick that he's kind of got away from. You look at his previous fights, he doesn't really rely on that leg kick like he did in the beginning of his career. So I like to see Jose Aldo get back to the leg kick. Key to victory number 2, put the combinations together. You know, upstairs, downstairs, downstairs, upstairs. Start the leg kick, right hand, left hand, right hand, or right hand, left hand, leg kick. Get back to throwing those beautiful combinations that got you so far. I never forget when he fought Mark Hominick, Chad Mendez. He was all over the place with those combinations. And 3, defend the takedown. I don't think Merab landed one significant takedown on Jose Aldo because his takedown defense is pretty much the best in the game. Now let's look at Zahabi. What does he got to do in order to beat the legend and the King of Rio of Jose Aldo? Force the takedown. We saw Merab fight Jose Aldo, and even though Merab wasn't successful at taking down Jose Aldo, he was able to stifle Jose Aldo and not let him get up on his game and land those beautiful leg kicks. And another key to victory for Zahabi to beat Jose Aldo. If you look at Jose Aldo's last fight against Mario Batista and my boy Henry Cejudo were going back and forth. Henry Cejudo responds, he goes, "What have you done? What have you done?" I'll tell you what he's done. He was able to stifle Jose Aldo by holding him against the cage. I know it's not the most exciting thing, how you beat somebody, but at the end of the day, like Dom said, like Toretta said, whether you win by a mile or 2 seconds, winning is winning. So Zahabi can stifle Jose Aldo by holding him against the cage and forcing Jose Aldo to defend that takedown. Because when Aldo defends a takedown, he defends a takedown. He doesn't fight the takedown. There's a difference. You shoot on me, I defend, I defend, I defend, I defend, I defend, 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 defend. Round's over. Or he shoots a takedown, I'm gonna fight the takedown, I'm gonna defend, pull your head off, elbow, right hand, knee, body kick. There's a difference. So if Aldo doesn't do that, and he didn't do it against Mario Batista, this might be the best way for Zahabi to take it to Jose Aldo by stifling him if he's having trouble with him on the feet. And who do I have winning between Jose Aldo and Zahabi? I got to go with the King of Rio. He's been doing this for a very long time. He's in a new weight division at 135. He's looked great at this division. He's had no problems making the weight cut. So I'm going to have to go with Jose Aldo. And when we're talking about final predictions, we got the PrizePicks lineup going on right now. If you guys don't know what PrizePicks is, it's a daily fantasy sports game we can play directly from your phone. It's very simple. Grab your phone, go to the App Store, download PrizePicks. When you do that, use my promo code MIGHTY. Cool promotion going on right now. All you gotta do is play $5 in your lineup. Make your picks, whether it's mixed martial arts, NHL, NBA. You're gonna win $50. And UFC 315, Jack Della taking up Belal Muhammad. The line has just come out. And when I'm looking at these bad boys, significant strikes. Belal Muhammad, they think he's gonna land 64.5 significant strikes. Typically, I feel like Belal Muhammad, it's a 5-round fight. He is a high volume puncher. You look what he did with Leon Edwards. He was all over him. So I actually like more with that. They even got takedowns. That's one thing I love about PrizePicks. It's not all about just significant strikes. They even have takedowns right here. Do you think Belal Muhammad's going to land 4 takedowns against Jack Della? Oh, it's very hard because he took down Leon Edwards a lot. And, one thing that we know about Jack Della is that he does not accept the position. So you could go with less. I actually feel comfortable going with less with Belal Muhammad for the 4 takedowns. And you also have the co-main event with Valentina Shevchenko landing 75.5 significant strikes against Manon Fiorot. I actually kind of like, you know, with Shevchenko, she can do it all. She can wrestle, she can grapple, she can strike. So I think I'm going to go, I feel comfortable going with more with the Valentina Shevchenko. So boys, make sure you guys lock in your picks at the right place, which is PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this video. Now, let us get back to the final predictions. And now we look at the co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko looking on taking on Manon. Now, a lot of people don't know a lot about Manon, but I did a little research on her, and she loves a beautiful side kick that she throws a lot of, and she's very, very game on the feet. That's one of the things I see in Manon when I watch her fight. She's very game. She's beat a former world champion in Rose Namajunas, and that was one of the things I was worried about when I saw this match between Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon. But then once I did research, I was like, okay, she's been in a 5-round fight. She's fought a former world champion. She's 7-0 in the UFC. She has done enough to warrant a title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. Now, when you look at Valentina Shevchenko, she's been around for a very, very long time. At one point in time, I thought she was going to beat my record in 11 consecutive title defenses, but then she ran into Alexa Grasso. Grasso was able to defeat her. Now she's looking to get back on track and start her title reign again against a very dangerous Manon. But when you look at the keys of victory for both these ladies, let's take a look at Valentina Shevchenko, right? She is a veteran. She's been here before. She's fought the best of the best of this division and the division up. She has a Muay Thai and kickboxing background, but sometimes when she comes to against an opponent that is faring pretty well on the feet with her, she tends to switch up the game and goes wrestling mode. And that's how she was able to beat Alexa Grasso in the trilogy fight. She would take down Grasso when she wasn't feeling comfortable. When Grasso would cross the void and pressure her, Shevchenko would like, don't like it, go underneath, take her down, lay in her guard, and then Grasso could not get back to her feet. We can see that as a key to victory for Valentina Shevchenko when she takes on Manon if she's having trouble on the feet against Manon. And being intelligent, when she fought Alexa Grasso for the 3rd time, she realized when she took down Grasso, if she would pass guard, Grasso would just explode up and get out of side control. But then she realized if she landed in her guard, she was not getting up. She wasn't framing against her. So you see the IQ in Valentina Shevchenko when she fought Grasso. I expect the exact same IQ when she fights Manon. Now, let's look at the keys of victory for Manon. Once again, a lot of people don't know a lot about Manon, but she's had a couple fights. She's had 7 fights in the UFC, undefeated in the UFC. But a lot of her fights were at the UFC Apex Center, which is Michael Wanzover's favorite place where the UFC likes to throw the events. So a lot of you guys haven't got to see the opportunity to see her fight. But if you look at what she does, she's very game on the feet. She would stay on the feet the whole entire time if the fight stays there. So key to victory number 1 for her is keep it on the feet, because that's where you're the most comfortable and that's where you do your best work inside the octagon. She comes from a striking background, Muay Thai and karate. Keep the fight on the feet because that's where you do your best work. All your knockouts, all your side kicks, all that stuff. And you look at when Shevchenko fought Grasso, Grasso actually had success on the feet against Valentina Shevchenko. It forced Shevchenko, who's a great Muay Thai kickboxer, become a great wrestler. So keep the fight on the feet. Key to victory number 2, take the fight to Valentina Shevchenko. When you look at the things that Grasso did very well against Shevchenko, she took the fight to Shevchenko. We're making Shevchenko become an amazing wrestler. On the feet, I felt Grasso was beating Shevchenko, and that's when Shevchenko change elevation and took her down and laid in her guard because we knew Grasso couldn't get up. So who do I have winning in this fight between Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon? I'm gonna have to go with Shevchenko the Bullet. She's proven to me time and time again that she's always getting better. She's always, you know, becoming smarter inside of the fight, and I don't see why it wouldn't be the same when she fights the newcomer Manon. So I'm gonna go with Valentina Shevchenko the Bullet. Now, the main event of the evening. Don't forget the name, Belal Muhammad taking on Jack Della. Now this, I'm actually kind of excited for this fight because when I watch Jack Della, he does not accept the position, meaning that if he gets taken down, he fights back to his feet, and once he gets to his feet, he does not establish a void. He throws stuff in the void to see what his opponent's going to do. You go back and watch when he fought Gilbert Burns took him down, a little scramble ensued, he gets up, he throws a knee into the void, Gilbert Burns ducks into it, and he's able to finish Gilbert Burns. He's very passive on the feet, meaning that he kind of walks his way to the edge of the void, and he starts throwing combinations. He's not a pop-up. It's not a quick, explosive athlete, but once he sees his opponent is hurt, he does put the foot on the gas. Now we have Belal Muhammad, the new crowned champion at 170. He got the belt by beating, outclassing Leon Edwards. Great pressure, very great wrestling, and he listens to his corner very, very well, and he always sticks to the game plan. The one chink I do see in Belal Muhammad's armor is that in that fight between Leon Edwards did switch the position, got his back, got the body triangle. At the very end of the fight, he was able to come on top, throw down some vicious elbows, cut Belal Muhammad, which means that if Jack Della gets taken down by Belal Muhammad, Jack Della is not going to accept the position, and he's going to be able to reverse. If he's able to reverse Belal Muhammad, I think Belal Muhammad's going to be in trouble. So when you look at the keys of victory for both these gentlemen, let's start with Belal Muhammad. One, Belal Muhammad's got to stick to the game plan. I don't know what his game plan is fighting Jack Della, but whatever it is, he's got to stick to it, and he's pretty good about doing that. Let's talk about that. When he fought Leon Edwards, you can tell there's a clear-cut game plan. Get in his face. Don't allow the sniper to get a great shot, because that's what, boom, headshot, pound for pound, dead, he did against Kamaru Usman, and he realized I have to be all over Leon Edwards and stick to the game plan. Round after round after round, he did the exact same thing every single round against Leon Edwards, and by him sticking to the game plan, sticking to the code, it allowed him to become a world champion, and one day, you guys will never forget the name. Two, don't give Jack Della the opportunity to set anything up. I feel he might be the cleaner striker, right? When I mean by cleaner striker, I said this to, Belal Muhammad before. I thought Leon Edwards was going to piece his ass up on the feet. But Belal Muhammad is a striker who just closes the void, gets on his opponents, throws strikes, jab, right hook, uppercut, and his strikes become available when his opponents get flustered. So if Belal Muhammad can fluster and don't give Jack Della the opportunity to set up and throw out beautiful strikes, I think it's going to favor Belal Muhammad a lot more. Force Jack Della to accept the position, because Jack Della is very good of not accepting the position. Now let's get to his opponent, Jack Della, the man from down under. So when we looked at the key to victory, number one for Jack Della is take the fight to Belal Muhammad. That is a big key to victory for a lot of athletes, is that I don't care the champion, I'm taking the fight to you, I have earned this spot, and I'm taking that gold back to Australia. So that's key to victory number one. Key to victory number two, when he takes you down, you cannot accept the position, because when you fought Leon Edwards, that's when he had his best success, is when he was able to reverse the position. He got Belal Muhammad's back. He locked in the body triangle. He also was able to reverse the position at the very last second of the fight, threw down some heavy elbows. So if he goes in there, the key to victory number two, and not accept the position, that could be a huge, pivotal thing for Jack Della to do. Now, who do we have winning in the main event? Do we go with never forget the name, Belal Muhammad, or do we go with Jack Della, the man from down under? I'm gonna have to go with Belal Muhammad. I went against him before. I thought Leon Edwards was gonna spank his ass, but little did I know, he made sure I did not forget the name. So I'm gonna have to go Belal Muhammad, just because he's been there before. He's fighting deep waters. He's fought the best of this division. And I think Jack Della hasn't fought anybody this tough or well-rounded. But I think if Jack Della does not accept the position that Belal Muhammad puts him in, I think Jack Della has a very good chance of winning, because I do like his striking. I do love that he never gives up on a position, and that's where I think he can give Belal Muhammad problems. But I think Belal Muhammad he's healthy. He did have a little, injury to, the previous game, he's supposed to fight Shavkat, but that, Shavkat, Ian Gary fought. Now Shavkat's injury. Now Jack Della steps in. I'm super excited to see this fight, but I'm gonna go Belal Muhammad. Please leave a comment down below. Do you guys feel good about this one? I know the previous card, I went Bryce Mitchell to baptize Gene Silva, but Gene Silva sent his ass to the Shadow Realm with the ninja choke, and I felt like I got a couple of those right. I got a couple of them wrong, but at the end of the day, as long as we're having a good time together and we're vibing out together, Mighty's always gonna be happy. We will see you beautiful people at the next video.